Just look!
Wait! That wasn't the deal!
Oh, you poor, naive creature. It's not your fault. A more advanced intellect would have seen this move coming a mile away. Or 1.6 kilometers.
But I trusted you! You were my friend!
I'm sorry. That just hit me funny.
And that right there just about sums up what our current position is here at the end of the season with our Detroit Lions. There is a little bit of good news escaping from the Lions' den, and we're going to talk about that today and why a third opinion for David Montgomery's knee is a good thing and why you should be optimistic about the outcome of this injury. AI overview of a third medical opinion. It says a third medical opinion is a medical professional's assessment of a patient's diagnosis or treatment plan after a first and second opinion. I think we can all agree on that. That doesn't sound too off. It can be sought when a patient wants to do a few different things. So let's see, avoid a mistaken diagnosis, decide on a course of treatment, find a doctor who may agree with their wants, and be convinced that they are making the right decision. I think this is going to be the latter of all of those, which is actually the first and last, basically. Avoid a mistake and be convinced that they're making the right decision. Some ways you can get a third opinion include consulting with both doctors, asking doctors to consult with each other, finding out how doctors reach their decisions, learning more about the condition in clinical trials, working with an experienced medical second opinion service provider. And this says directly on the AI overview that when an NFL player seeks a third opinion on an injury, it usually means that the player or the team is still trying to determine the best course of action. So, like, can the players remain stable? Is the player's performance going to be good enough? If they're on it, is the treatment going to work that he needs if he continues playing? Can he play with a brace? A lot of these things, and it even mentions on here with the AI thing. For example, in December, Detroit Lions running back David Montgomery sought a third opinion on his knee surgery, or on his knee injury after suffering what was thought to be a season-ending MCL tear. The team held off on putting Montgomery on injury reserve while they waited for the third opinion. Now, why should we be a little optimistic about this? Well, let's take a look at this. All the NFL teams have is they have a team of professionals that are going to give an evaluation. Now, the reason they get away from this is because, and get second and third opinions is because you can be a little biased wanting to play or wanting your player to play, or maybe you're just like, no, we don't want to hurt you. Your contract's too big. There's a lot of reasons why you kind of have to get a few different opinions to kind of take any of the bullshit fog out of the decision-making process. So when your doctor's having a difference in opinion, like if you go to one doctor, he says, yeah, you're good. Another doctor says, nah, I don't know. I don't think you should. Sometimes you can't leave it to that. You actually have to get another opinion. And we do a tiebreaker opinion. These are called third opinions at a separate institution. Almost always the third party agrees with our second opinion. Okay. Almost always. And this is very important. Okay. So let's think back. How did this all go down? Well, immediately after the game, they thought David Montgomery was going to be out for the season.
Yeah. Looks like he's gonna require surgery that'll put him out for the rest of the year, and he had gotten it at some point yesterday in that game. I mean, David's so tough, man. He continued to play through, and then got it checked out today, and realized that's what it was. And I mean, he's just the ultimate teammate, ultimate competitor. We're going to miss him, man. He's another one of these guys that got us to this position.
Everybody was bummed. And then when you watched Woodward Sports in the morning, they always had the doc on. And when the doc was on, he said this.
I mean, Montgomery's one of, obviously the most concerning of it all. Is an MCL like an ACL? And that's kind of what I think the viewers would want to hear about. The MCL is the medial collateral ligament that creates the stability, that side-to-side movement. And can that be braced? Can you get by without one? You're more likely to get by with a repaired MCL quicker, which is the inside of your knee. If we can show it's a ball, it's a joint that kind of comes into each other, and it's on the inside of the knee. If he has repair, he can have a quick repair and then some of that secret sauce on there to speed it up. He's going to repair it this week, and we'll play it week to week. Is he out for the season?
That's what they say.
That's what they're saying.
Monty's going to need surgery to repair this, and that would put him out for the year. Then we're going to get a second or third opinion.
I mean, I don't want to put my 2 cents in because the thing is you can play with a brace with that. There are other options where the ACL, you don't have much of an option. With an MCL, there's some options, and the thing is, they're so powerful and strong, depending how much swelling was around it. There's other factors that go into it. I trust the team, the physicians, and if they're saying, he needs surgery right away to repair it. In the old days, they would let's get through the season and we'll deal with it. Let's brace it, let's do everything we can. Today's a bigger business, a long-term thinking, and it's not like the ACL where you're down, you're done, because you cannot create any stability. With an MCL, you can create alternative stability with that injury. So that's the most I want to say.
Now, after those two things, it's almost like you got your first opinion and your second opinion. Now they're going to go to a third opinion. Now, almost always they agree with the second opinion, and it seems like the second opinion that popped up was, hey, maybe he actually can play. This might not actually be that bad. He even went back in and played a couple more plays. Let's get a third opinion on this, and I think that is what's happening. So the fact that they almost always agree with the second opinion really should give you a little bit of hope that David Montgomery might be back for at least the playoffs in order to play possibly in the last game, hopefully the NFC Championship and Super Bowl. If we can get to the NFC Championship game, get Montgomery back, get to the Super Bowl, get Hutch back, and a lot of our other players, as long as nobody else gets injured, as long as this bug goes away, let's do a little dance tonight before we go to bed as Lions fans. So as we see, it's not completely clear what's going to happen. It's really up in the air now. Craig Reynolds and Sione Vaki are going to kind of stay where they're at, maybe bump up a spot. But I'm telling you right now, don't be surprised if we elevate Jamar Jefferson. Because if you listen to how Coach talks about him, then you're going to see that it's not so cut and dry as to actually who's going to start or not right now. Because right now is kind of a new competition, considering the number 1 is out. The number 2 is going to have to move up to number 1, and now this little void is going to be created. You would think it would be Craig Reynolds, but don't forget he also has to return kicks and stuff too. And with our injury list being as it is, I think we're going to start making moves that are going to save the legs of some of these guys, because we're almost in like this little tight spot of it. I mean, this is what I would think I would want to do, because returning kicks is a very dangerous job, and if he's your other main running back and you haven't really got these other guys as many snaps as you should, then you might be making a big mistake here. So I think the Lions are going to have to do something, and the way the coach talks about him, I think you can see why. I think it's a probable thing to happen. But anyway, let's hear Coach talk about him.
Understanding what Jameer brings to the table and how he's able to keep the room elevated, but it's not going to be a one-back show here. It never is. So what is the confidence in Craig and Sione? Is Sione ready to contribute to this room as well?
We haven't even had a practice yet, but he's worked his butt off. Sione has. But, Jamar Jefferson is a guy that, I'm very proud of going into camp. Coming out of camp, I thought this guy had tremendous value. Sione, tremendous value. Craig had tremendous value. They have an unbelievable opportunity today in practice to compete against each other for some of these opportunities. There are a little bit more opportunities. We'll continue to make sure Jameer gets, a little bit more of the action there. But those 3 guys will have a good chance to compete today for what's going to happen on Sunday. I really like the fact that they're going to go out and practice hard, and we're going to get to evaluate them again. And it's not just about their history or body of work. It's about right now. That's kind of where we are right now. Jamar, tremendous short area quickness, good vision in the run game, did a tremendous job in camp of creating a lot of explosive. He actually might have had the most explosives in camp and real running settings there. Did a really good job for us. Sione he's continued to get better from what you guys, it's hard for you guys to see it, but where you show some of your detail is in the show team reps. And Sione has done a wonderful job there. And then Craig, so much confidence in Craig. run game, pass game, protections. He's very, very sound in his protections. Siane's been very good in his one-on-one situations and pass protection as well. So we're really happy with where those guys are, and I'm anxious to see him go compete in practice today.
So you see, this is a pretty clear indication that this race is not over. This competition is not over. These guys are still fighting for it. And the way he talked about them, where he said he hit those explosive plays, hit the most explosive plays. They're really thinking about explosive plays, quick scoring. And the way he's talking about Sione Vaki, it seems to me like almost like he's not quite there yet. That's how I feel about it. So we might see an elevation here. And we might see somebody getting pushed back down into the practice squad. I don't really know how that's going to work. But, don't be surprised if we make some moves here. Those are just my observations. Everybody can have their own opinion. But as far as I can see, don't be surprised if we elevate Jamar Jefferson. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it was informative for you. Showed you a few things you might not have been looking at. And with that, we'll see you on the next one.
Pass. Complete! St. Brown slips through a tackle inside the 20.